The reason why cops have always been associated with eating donuts in movies and TV shows is way more fascinating than you think. For most people, the idea that cops love donuts has been around since before we could even remember. It's been shown in countless movies and TV shows as a very common trope or stereotype about cops, and it's so pervasive that it's carried over into real life, and it's just a thing that we all kind of vaguely assume about them. But why? Why donuts specifically? Well, it turns out that there's actually a very real reason for this, and it starts with Cambodian immigrants. You see, back in the mid-century United States, we didn't have a 24-hour convenience store on every street corner like we do now. In fact, most places closed around 2 or 3 p.m., which wasn't super convenient for cops that had the graveyard shift because they'd be driving around all night and they would have no place to stop and eat or get a snack or a drink or do their paperwork or even just take a break. They were just kind of screwed. But in the 1950s, 60s, and particularly 70s after the Vietnam War, the United States started to receive an influx of Cambodian and Vietnamese immigrants who were escaping the growing instability in Southeast Asia. And upon immigrating to the United States, a lot of them opened up donut shops because of how popular they had become and also the relative low cost of starting one. And these immigrants didn't have the same cultural norms as the other businesses in the United States and didn't see a need to close up shop so early in the day, and also saw a massive opportunity and started keeping their donut shops open 24/7. And I think you can kind of see where this is going, but donut shops became the de facto hangout spot for graveyard shift police officers who literally had nowhere else to go to eat, drink, and do their paperwork in the middle of the night. By the 1980s, Cambodian and Vietnamese-owned donut shops had become a staple in the United States, particularly in California. And also by this time, the idea or the image of cops hanging out in donut shops or eating donuts in their car had latched on to the pop cultural psyche in the United States, and it became this sort of shorthand for talking about cops in stand-up comedy, movies, television, and any other type of pop culture. And over time, more and more businesses and restaurants started to be open 24/7 or late, and maybe cops drifted away from frequenting donut shops so often because they had more selection, but that idea that cops love donuts burned itself into our collective psyche and we never forgot it. But also, like, who doesn't love donuts? And real quick, if you like my videos and want to see more in-depth writing from me, you can do that here.